Welcome to the Maternity Workload tool demonstration. You can access the Maternity Workload tool on the SSTS platform once you have been issued with a username and password from your local SSTS manager. Enter your username and password into the login and click Login. Remember, your password is case sensitive. You will then be presented with the details on the screen. Click Confirm if the details are correct. If the details are incorrect, press Exit. Select SSTS. Select Workload Tools. And a drop-down menu will appear. This will list all the tools you have access to. The others will be greyed out. Click on to Maternity. The first screen you will see will have a calendar on it. Simply select the date you wish to enter data for. You will also see that a user manual is available to refer to. You can also print the manual. You will see at the top of the grid the date you are entering data for and also the location type. In this demonstration, the location type is maternity services. If this is correct, click Confirm. The next screen is the screen you can use to start entering patient data. You will note again, for the purposes of this demo, the location type is maternity services. This location type is used for community maternity units, but can also be used for mixed wards. In this case, you can choose the bed type according to the clinical status of the patient. If you have a dedicated ward, for example, labour, antenatal, postnatal, etc., then the bed type selection does not apply. If there are no mothers present, then tick in the box. If you tick yes, a message will appear. If you select yes, this option will prevent you from entering any data. This is generally only used in remote and rural areas. For the purposes of this demonstration, we will select no. To enter data, click Add Patient. Enter the unique identifier, which is the patient's CAI number. Enter bed type and level of care. You will note the blue information icon. If you click on this, you will see the different level of care descriptors. feedback suggests it's useful to print this out and have it handy for midwives applying the tool. They will soon become familiar with the levels. There is also an option to enter a time in and a time out. If these fields are left blank, then it will be assumed that the mother was present for the whole day. If a time in is entered but not a time out, then it will be assumed that the mother was still present at the end of the date, i.e. at 07:59. If a time out is entered but not a time in, then it will be assumed that the mother was present at the start of the shift, i.e. at 0800. All patients admitted for the date need to be entered, and a timeout entered for those discharged. If patients are in for 24 hours, their details and allocated level of care will only need to be entered once, as the tool will accordingly allocate to day or night based on time in and time out entered. If the level of care changes for a significant part of the shift, for example over the 12-hour period, please use the plus link button. This will expand the row. Click on the Edit button and amend or enter the time out. This will be the time that the level of care changed. Click on Add another level to re-enter the new level of care and bed type if appropriate. You have the option to enter a timeout. The CAI number and time in will be entered automatically for you. Please ensure that the data and level of care are accurate for all patients on the shift. There is a filter tab that you can use if you have a mixed ward. This allows you to filter the various bed types into category and level of care. Use the Reset tab to revert to previous. If you require to enter additional activity, then click on the Additional Activity tab. Enter a description, start time, end time, and the number of staff required. For mixed ward, you can click on any descriptor. This won't affect the calculation. tool has been developed from detailed observation studies of all midwifery workload, ensuring that all aspects have been captured. The additional activity section should only be used if a rare event that has a significant adverse effect on the department resources occurs, requiring the intervention of a number of additional staff for a specific period of time. Use the drop-down box and select description of event. When all the data has been entered for the date, click on Complete Date and you will be presented with the following screen. If you do not want to proceed, clicking No will allow you to continue to add patients and enter data. Save the data for each patient as you go along. If you have entered all the patient data for the date, click Yes. For community, clinic and triage patients, you need to enter time in and time out for each patient. If several people in a team are entering data, for example community, do not press Complete Date until each individual has entered their data, otherwise you will lock others out. If you need to unlock a date to add more data, then press the Unlock Date button. You will then be presented with the summary display screen. Your role will determine what information is displayed on the screen. For the editor role, this screen shows the recommended weekly whole time equivalent based on the number of patients entered and their level of care. The recommended whole time equivalent figure is shown daily so that users can see the variation in workload which would affect their staffing levels. There are maternity reports available via Boxy that will allow users to see the full variation in workload across the week. This will provide users with the appropriate intelligent information when considering staffing levels / outcomes. The editor role allows information to be amended or entered retrospectively for a period of up to 2 months. It is better to enter the data on a daily or weekly basis. This ends the demonstration.